Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a brief little video on some new glass pads that have hit the market and that were all sent to me for my thoughts, my opinions. This is going to be the first one I'm going to talk about. This is the Singularity from Tekusai. You can see it is 490 by 420, has nice rounded edges. It's not the thickest glass pad, not the thinnest, but overall it actually is a substantial size, especially for the price. What you're going to hear me say is something that I've not been able to say in a very long time, but when you're looking at the glass pad market, this is the only entry option that you will ever hear me recommend. This pad is coming in at $40. He does allow creator codes. I haven't set one up. I think they did for me, so you can use code FRESH as a coupon when you go to check this out. It's releasing soon, and with the code, it's only $37. So if you're wanting to get a taste of what glass pads feel like, but you haven't wanted to pay that $100 or more entry fee, again, this is going to be your best and really like only entry option I can quite think of. It's got nice rounded edges. It is probably like 3 mil thick, if I had to say, in terms of its overall height. Overall, the texture of the pad, it does have a little bit of micro texture in terms of how glass pads feel. Some of them get very silky and smooth like butter. This one has a little tiny bit of a microtexture to the skin. Nothing, though, that is like an abrasive or bumpy feeling. It's just the way the glass feels is a little bit different than the very silky smooth. Overall, the pad coming with a design, and a design that actually looks fairly good at this price point as well. I don't quite know how they're getting away with it or how they're doing it, but I don't think that their profit margins are going to be that substantial, especially in comparison to the people coming out with $150 pads. So my performance on this has actually been very good. So to really put it in line with other pads, it does compete with pads in terms of performance in the $100 or more price range. What I would say, though, is that the anti-stick is not necessarily the best. The pad backing, it can move a little bit easy on my desk. The backing is not silicone. It is a rubber backing that you guys can see here, but the backing is good. My pad doesn't move during gameplay at all. And the pad size, 490 by 420, it actually does, listen to it on glide with my skates. I have Silver Fox skates. I don't find the pad or the glass to be causing a deterioration in the skates very quickly, which some hard pads can do. The audible noise is fairly reduced, especially compared to glass pads in the past, like the SkyPad 3.0. Overall, the glide very fast and open on dynamic. Initial friction is very low. Static friction is nice, airy, open, and fast in terms of a glass pad experience. But I do find that my performance is actually very good because I can stop on the pad. I don't feel this sense of being slippery or wiggly. So in terms of performance, again, it's going to be your best entry option into the glass pad market at a price tag with a code of only $37. It's pretty remarkable that that is the case. Again, I don't know how they're doing it, but there is no other entry option that I can think of where you can really test the waters and see how you'd like a glass pad other than the Singularity. Up next, I have the Minami. This is a limited pad. I don't quite know if any are available right now at the time of this video, but if anybody was looking for one on the secondhand market, what you will have is a very ultra clear glass. The design pops through really, really well, and if you're somebody who loves blues, teals, Tiffany blues, etc., this would definitely be up your alley if this is your style. What I can say is the pad is 3 mil thick. It's 490 by 420, so the same sizing as the Singularity. To me, it comes off a little bit thinner than the Singularity, but it probably is just by a hair. Overall, a really cool and fun-looking pad, again, if you love those blue colors. For initial friction is very low. Dynamic friction is very fast. And static is very fast and open as well. But for stopping power, like I didn't really have any issues stopping on the pad, but I do have the tendency to use my wrist and skin on my wrist to stop on glass pads. So if you're somebody who keeps your arm up, it will feel like a fast glass pad and one of the faster variations on the market right now. But again, some glass pads can get quite similar. It does feel really nice on glide in terms of the audible noise on skates. It doesn't seem to be eating away my skates to any great degree. Again, with Silver Fox dots, you guys can see how the glide looks. It is fairly typical to some glass on the market. I would say it feels a little bit like the Arbiter Godzilla pad, but just a really nice looking pad if you are looking for a limited variant with this much blue or Tiffany blue, teal, aqua type colors. Fast pad, really super smooth. It's more of like the silky smooth variants on the market right now. The only issue I had on this pad was initially the static coming from the pad. I would rub my arm on the pad, and the static would actually cause the hair on my arms to raise a little bit. That has since vanished. So I do find this to be a pretty damn good pad if you're looking for one of the faster, silkier variants, coming in at $110. And the backing of the pad is much more premium. It is a full silicone backing, and it's in a matching Tiffany blue here. You've got Konami across. It is very sticky and very stable. It's definitely one of the more premium silicone backings. And once you have it in place, like, this thing is not going to move. So they did a really nice job with that base, and it's really pretty to look at. And up next, I do have a custom pad from Ippasun. This is the Yao tempered glass pad, but they now have a process where you can use your own very high resolution custom image, and they will print it off and make you a custom glass pad. I'll throw the links down below and you guys can see the pricing. But again, 490 by 420, it's actually pretty much the same rubber backing that we saw on the Singularity, so I don't really need to show it to you guys. But look at how well the image is popping through that pad. I mean, it just looks absolutely amazing. It's probably one of the best prints I've ever seen on a glass pad. And the thing that's kind of interesting to me about this pad is the overall speed and feel of the glass. It's quite different than everything else on the market. I would say the closest thing would be the Tora from Infinity Mice. It's a glass that feels quite different than most pads. It's more of like this, almost like there's a grain to the glass. So it doesn't feel like this silky smooth. It just feels a little bit different on the skin and on your skates. But interestingly enough, this is a quite controlled glass pad. On dynamic, when you are moving your skates across this pad, it does feel quite a few ticks slower than something like the Konami Minami and even the Singularity. It's still nice and open when you really want your mouse to move on dynamic, but when you really want to pick up that extra control, it's probably one of like the most controlled glass pads that I've used. I found this to work really well for me in tack shooters and climbing in, let's say, Frag Punk. It does work well for me too in track heavy games, but probably not my top preference for track heavy games. Overall, though, again, if you're looking for a custom glass pad with a really sick print that you can have a very high res option here, the sizing is good, and it is on the more unique side with that element of control. So very interesting. But all three of these pads I could certainly recommend. It really just depends on your speed preferences here. Overall, though, again, the best budget entry option. There really is nothing on the market like the Singularity. But man, look at just that print is just so sick. But anyways, guys, that's just a little overview of some of the new glass hitting the market, or that has hit the market. I think the Singularity drops on April 18th. And again, you can use code FRESH, get some savings. It drops it to $37. And I will leave the link below for this custom pad. It's just pretty sick if you have a really high-res image that you want to throw on a glass pad and you're looking for a little bit of control again. So I hope it helped, guys. If it did, please leave a sub to the channel. See you guys in the next review. Peace.